In the world of business, knowledge isn't just power, it's your unfair advantage. This is Momentum, your deep dive into the books that shape the world's most successful leaders. Let's begin.
You've been lied to your entire life about how to win. You were told to look at the person next to you, figure out what they are doing, and just do it 10% better. Work 10% harder. Wake up 10% earlier.
So you hustle. You launch your business, your freelance gig, your new product. You obsess over your rivals. You undercut their prices, you match their features, and you are exhausted. You are fighting a bloody war for scraps, and at the end of the month, your bank account looks exactly the same.
What if I told you that the very act of competing is exactly what's keeping you broke, burned out, and stuck? What if the ultimate secret to winning isn't beating the competition, but avoiding it entirely?
Today, we are tearing into a concept that will completely shatter how you view success. The book is 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. He's the billionaire co-founder of PayPal and the first outside investor in Facebook.
And his core argument is deeply uncomfortable. He says straight up, competition is for losers.
Wait, that sounds completely backwards. We are raised on sports and grades and free market capitalism. May the best player win. Competition is supposed to make us better.
I know, stay with me. Thiel argues that in business and in your career, if you are competing, you are already losing. Because if you are competing, you are just going from 1 to N.
Meaning you are just copying something that already exists.
Exactly. If you have a typewriter and you build 100 more typewriters, you made horizontal progress. You went from 1 to N. But if you have a typewriter and you invent the word processor, you made vertical progress. You went from 0 to 1. You created something entirely new.
And here is the counterintuitive part. You probably think the goal of any new venture is to disrupt a massive multi-billion-dollar market. You actually do not want to do that. Disruption is a death trap. But I will tell you exactly how to avoid that trap in just a minute. First, we need to look at the sky.
Let's talk about the U.S. airline industry in 2012. You have these massive, iconic companies, hundreds of planes, thousands of employees, flying millions of people across the globe. That year, the airlines generated $160 billion in revenue. Huge, staggering numbers.
But they made only 37 cents of profit per passenger. 37 cents! If you dropped a quarter and a dime under your seat, you literally lost the airline's entire profit for your ticket.
Imagine the absolute stress of running that business. The union strikes, the jet fuel costs fluctuating by the minute, the weather delays. And why is the profit practically zero? Because they are all competing. Delta, United, American, they all fly the same planes to the same airports. So they have to slash prices to survive. The competition eats every single dollar of profit.
Now look at Google in that exact same year. Google brought in $50 billion in revenue, less than a third of the airlines. But they kept 21% of it as pure profit. They had more than 100 times the profit margin of the airline industry.
Because Google wasn't competing. They didn't go from 1 to N. They went from 0 to 1. They created something unprecedented and they dominated it. They essentially built a monopoly.
And I know that word makes people squirm. When you say monopoly, we immediately think of the evilly cartoon billionaire with a monocle, hiking up prices on medicine.
Right. Illegal monopolies are bad. But Thiel redefines the word for creators and builders. A creative monopoly isn't about bullying rivals or bribing politicians. It's simply about being so uniquely good at what you do that no one else in the world can even offer a viable alternative.
If you open a new pizza place in Brooklyn, you are going to bleed cash fighting 50 other pizza places. You are an airline. You are competing.
But remember that open loop from earlier? Emily, you mentioned why you don't want a massive market to start. This is the secret to actually achieving that 0 to 1 monopoly.
Teal says you must start by dominating a completely tiny, highly specific market. A market so small that the big guys don't even care about it.
Think about Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg didn't launch a social network for the entire world. That would have been suicide. He would have been crushed by MySpace. He launched it for precisely one group: Harvard students.
A market of a few thousand people. He captured 100% of that tiny market in a matter of days. Then he expanded to other Ivy League schools, then all colleges, then the world.
When you try to build for everyone, you build for no one. You invite infinite competition. When you build for a tiny, hyper-specific group, you can actually create a monopoly.
So look at your own work right now. Your career, your startup, your freelance business. Are you caught in the trap of trying to be 10% better than the person next to you?
If you are constantly checking your competitor's Instagram or lowering your hourly rate to win a gig, you are playing a losing game. You are fighting over 37 cents. You're an airline. You want to be Google.
The fix is to radically shrink your focus. What is the one thing you can do for a very specific group of people that no one else can touch? Stop trying to beat the competition. Make the competition entirely irrelevant.
Escape the bloody waters. Find your 0 to 1 moment.
This shift in mindset is massive. And honestly, it takes serious practice to stop looking sideways at what everyone else is doing. It goes against all our instincts.
Which is exactly why we built today's interactive challenge in the Momentum app. We're going to walk you through a specific 5-minute exercise to audit your current projects. You will identify exactly where you are unknowingly bleeding out from competition, and you'll figure out your tiny market to dominate by tomorrow morning. Go open the Momentum app right now and start that exercise. And if today's concept hit you between the eyes, you owe it to yourself to get the full picture. Go pick up a copy of 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. It will completely rewire your brain. Stop competing. Start creating. We'll be right back here tomorrow with another idea to give you momentum.